I was watching Gilbert Johnson's videos. If you don't know who that is, man, go check out his shit. It's really dope. Really, I like the insight that he has. He's really insightful. He's comical. He's funny, and he talks about a lot of his different struggles in his life. Going from like the unnoticed little kid in the corner, like scrawny little kid that people make fun of, to having a growth spurt, 6 7 inches and some and whatnot, and being noticed now that he physically changed. But I think because of the fact that he was so unnoticed, he kind of honed his personality, and now his personality kind of shines bright because his looks are up to par. And then he reminisces on a lot of different instances. I think that's his second channel, and the other one he just talks about a lot of struggles that young men are having nowadays, right? But nonetheless, I'm not gonna plug. I'm actually just plugging it, but I think it's really good, so you should go check it out. But he was talking about specifically one thing that I thought I had to touch on, the fact that during his childhood he developed an inability to kind of face people that are giving him slack, like people that are being mean to him or that are confronting him. He became non-confrontational, and he says basically it's because when he was younger, he had authority figures that were like, bro, like that were telling him directly not to get mad, like that were telling him that the fact that he was getting mad in certain situations and affirming himself against people that were trying to maybe harm him physically, psychologically, was a bad thing, that he couldn't push back. If somebody hits you, you don't hit back. And for one, that's such a negative, or like a bad way to see things, or a bad message to send somebody, to let him know that he shouldn't hit back whomever is trying to bully him. Bro, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my whole life. Like, whatever, that's my perspective. But if you have any sense of what's right in life or whatever, and how hard life is, to tell somebody not to react because it's the right thing to do, or it's the highway or whatever, I think to me is bad advice. Now, the reason why I resonated so much with that is because I had similar things. And I for lack of a better word, I believe that many or most young men, we have a certain degree of anger. When like, and it's not anger in the sense that, oh, we're not getting boxes. There's like the whole movement of guys not getting sex. It's just that drive that we have to go out into the world and start doing shit, being productive. And if that drive is not answered, it tends to turn into something else. And it can often turn into being labeled as hyperactive, as angry, not being able to sit down and just behave, right? That's why like it serves us so well when we get into organized sports when we're young. We channel that energy and into doing and learning skills that are going to make us productive human beings when we grow up, right? But like that thing that he talked about, where there's authority figures and people around you that are telling you that you shouldn't react, you know, to people basically trying to put you down because anger is not a good, or violence and all these things are not a good way to react in certain situations. To me, I can relate. Now, let me be quite honest with you 100%. When I was young, I was a prick. I was a prick because I was angry, just like I said, and I didn't have a channel to I didn't have a conduit to redirect all that energy that I had as a young man. And I was pretty pissed because I was a fat boy as well, through fault of my own, because I ate too much, right? But not having the awareness to really kind of manage my eating habits and all these things, I was a little angry kid, and I was dislikable. It was on one part I was, told that I was likable because my personality was nice, but I had these outbursts of anger, right? And I was told off so many times at one point because I was angry, right? I was dislikable in certain situations that I kind of, it's like a mental thing that I was like, okay, I'm a likable person except for that thing. So I really shut it down because I was being told, man, like you're reacting too much and whatever. And I stopped. But fast forwards, like many years later, I still have that kind of trauma because I was told off, right? Told to stop reacting that way and, get my first girlfriend. And I'm having confrontational situations with her. But because I still remember people telling me that I'm getting mad for no reason, when I'm supposed to check her, I don't check her because, and all these things, you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to do it. And that's why I related to the fact that he was saying, Gerbert, he was like when somebody's being confrontational with me, I no longer have that will, I have that incapacity to face that person because, for one, I was told off by authority figures, and how many times I was basically betrayed by the people around me that told me that I could trust them. right? It was a mix of both. Now I can't relate to that part because I wasn't betrayed that many times, or as far as I can remember, I wasn't really betrayed like that at a specific time in my life where it really meant something. But the authority figures actually having an effect on my psyche and my future experiences and the way that I reacted to that, definitely. Definitely, 100%. Maybe a lot of you can relate to the same thing where like our inner instincts or that thing inside us that makes us energetic, that makes us sometimes outburst. Because look, I think we're truly made different. And for a lot of us, when we have that excess of energy, the excess of drive, um, that's how it shows, right? And a lot of us, or a lot of people, they'll misdiagnose the fact that we are energetic as being super violent and all these things. That's why we have so many kids in high school and when they're young being prescribed like drugs and ADHD things because they think that there's something wrong with young men because they're energetic, they're driven, they have an excess of energy, they have a dislike for authority, and they want to play around, and that's labeled as being problematic within the whole educational system, and basically the whole system that says that we have to sit down and get in rows and all these things. And I'm not gonna go off in a tangent about this, but I think you get what I mean. Right now, on one side, I wasn't acting the right way. Let me be clear, but I think that was doing a disservice to me to tell me, like, bro, anytime there's a problem, then you're reacting the wrong way, and it sends the wrong message, and it kind of sends us off with that bad habit that we're probably going to carry over in relationships, just the way that I did, and not necessarily romantic, but definitely going to have an effect us negatively. And he was reminiscing, and I have these experiences as well, right? And I was like, man, am I supposed to, like, so many times now that I look back, and I was like, and because if you have that same tendency as me where you don't want to let people walk over you, but you're taking it because you think you can't react the way you truly want to do it. Now, I'm not telling you to go ape, but I was definitely going to put my foot down. There's a buildup of emotion. There's a buildup of anger. And now the true anger that people feared is going to come out eventually because of that misdiagnosed, whatever diagnosis, right? And as you get older, if you gain awareness into who you are, which I did because I did a lot of introspection, I did a lot of reminiscing about my past and how I reacted in certain situations. And let me be clear, I think it's not a common thing for guys to actually sit down and look back on how they used to behave. So there's a lot of guys that are going to keep on doing that thing and take these habits into their manhood, into their man, being anywhere from 20 to 30 and over, because they've never dealt with that. And this is not a video, like, this is not me telling you that it's, like, I'm not empowering you and giving you an excuse, but I'm telling you that you're not alone. I'm telling you you're not the only one. And I understand you, but nonetheless, you have to deal with it. But just understand the intricacies of this, and that it's not only because, oh, you're angry. I think there's a certain energy in us, the same energy that motivates us to go out and build shit, that go out and accomplish things. If it is not channeled when we're young, it leads us to do dumb things. But it's misdiagnosed as us being troublesome, basically violent. It's not that. It's not that. And for you to know that, it's okay. Like, you're more than what they diagnosed you as. But you also have to deal with that. You also have to deal with the fact that, maybe you do have some bad tendencies that you have to deal with, but they're not what they were labeled. You understand? I hope you do. I hope you do, because this is really important shit. And yeah, that's the main thing about what I wanted to say, because a lot of times it's really dangerous when we're ingesting a lot of mainstream propaganda information that's being told about who you're supposed to be as young men. And I don't know about you. I'm gonna be quite like 100% transparent with you. There's a lot of holes in my life. There's a lot of uncertainty that I've had, anywhere from ranging from 15 to 21, about how I should behave based on what was being put outside, as what I should strive to be and achieve, and the opinions that I should have, and my internal needs and wants and beliefs and automatic reactions to certain situations, which they were kind of conflicting There's a fight, an inner fight between what I was told and what I really wanted. And this is to let you know, if you're not like, if you're feeling this, if you're relating to what I'm telling you, then you are not alone. You're not alone, man. Know what I mean? Yeah, that's all I got to tell you, man. If it really helped you, I'm glad it did. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. You know why? Because it's fucking free, man. And I'm going to see you next time, okay? Peace.